After 3 years exploring the waterways of North America, we've traded our trawler for a trailer. But we're still just passing through. Last time, we were in Jasper National Park at Honeymoon Lake Campground. We left there on July 11th, headed north for the town of Grand Prairie, Alberta. I didn't shoot any photos or video, but we stayed one night at a KOA there before continuing. The next day, we headed west a little ways to a dinosaur museum. An enormous deposit of fossils had been discovered in the area back in the 70s. This museum opened in 2015 and is named after one of the researchers on the original fossil excavation. After a couple hours at the museum, we continued west to the town of Dawson Creek, British Columbia. Checked in at Northern Lights RV Park, dropped the trailer, and went back into town for some supplies and fuel. way back to the trailer, we encountered a car show, so we had to stop and have a look around. At this point, if we subtract the mileage for the side trip to visit my sister, we've covered about 3,500 miles, and the Alaska Highway should be an interesting part of our trip.
The Canadian government had already carved out a series of 5 airports between Edmonton, Alberta, and Whitehorse, Yukon Territory. And there were other fields in Alaska between the Yukon border and Fairbanks. With Canada's consent, the United States War Department decided to build a military highway from Rails End at Dawson Creek, British Columbia, to Fairbanks, Alaska, to link up and supply these airfields and to provide emergency access to Alaska for troops and materiel. This highway would extend roughly 1,500 miles, about the distance from Washington to Denver. The frontier town of Dawson Creek saw the arrival of the 1st Army Engineer Troops in March 1942. Here they set up a camp.
The guys who built this road back in 1942 wouldn't recognize it today. The southern end, at least, is wide, smooth, and nicely paved. We'll see what happens as we get farther north. It rained off and on all during the day, with sunshine coming through here and there. At one point, we just missed a storm of hail, sleet, or some sort of frozen precipitation. Marker 217, we pulled into an old abandoned provincial park at Prophet River. We found a fairly level spot and called it a night. Management area. It's the airstrip. The next day saw us back on the Alaska Highway, headed north. Around midday, we reached the town of Fort Nelson, where we visited the Heritage Museum.
technically that's the entrance.
We spent an hour or so browsing through the wide range of stuff from Fort Nelson's past.
That's gonna make motorcycle sort of wonky, right?
Oh yeah. Here we encounter a herd of stoned sheep on the highway shoulder in a particularly steep rocky area.
The next sort of camping area that's shown on here is side road to 115 Creek and McDonald Creek informal camping. We really want to go down there? No, I think we're gonna go back over here. Stop.
Nobody behind
the
us.
road.
Nobody behind us. No. That ain't gonna work. Okay, keep going. We stopped at the Tetsa River Lodge and picked up a couple of their famous cinnamon rolls. That afternoon, we found a spot to camp off of a gravel side road. It was a tight squeeze to get in there, but it worked fine, and it was free. The next morning started off like yesterday. Today would be a short day, traveling to a lake I'd heard about many times, Muncho Lake. We hope to find a campsite here and stay a couple days. These folks behind me are nice and patient, because I'm not going to be speeding through here.
Pull off and get out of their way.
Site here that's open right on the water. We have a site here that's open right on the water.
Looks like that one was easier to get in. That
I think you're right about that, but it's also closer to the highway. There. As it turned out, there was an open site for us. After getting set up and cooking dinner, we launched the kayaks and went for a paddle. Fancy meeting you here in the wilds of British Columbia. Well, we're enjoying a nice campsite at Muncho Lake for a couple days. Do some kayaking, maybe some fishing. There's a restaurant up the road we might check out. Oh, there's home. Yeah, I knew we were getting close, but we'll see you next time.